Welcome everyone to another video. Today in this video I have got this brand new PS5 controller. This is actually a Gen 5 controller. I can figure that out using the serial number that is mentioned at the back. And this controller is having stick drift problems. The left stick is drifting completely towards the left, and the client who has sent me this all the way from West Bengal wants me to install Hall effect sticks in this controller. And I am going to show you the entire process of how everything goes. I'm going to show you each and everything in this video because previously I have made videos where I have shown almost everything but not everything. But in this video I am going to show you the entire procedure, how exactly I do. After getting this plastic black piece off, I will be going ahead with the L1 and the R1 button that I will be getting off using this little screwdriver. This driver is having some tape over it, as you can see, so that it doesn't damage anything on the controller. And now both the L1 and the R1 buttons are removed, and we have access to the two screws, one here, the other one is here, and the other two screws are down here. This is all very simple. These initial steps are simple, but later I will show you the difficult ones, which I would not suggest everyone to attempt. All these four screws are exactly of the same length and size, so you can keep them together. Once this is done, you just need to lift these latches in the opposite direction. As you can see, these latches hold onto the upper part of the shell. You need to get them off like this and then separate the two. Now this step takes a little bit of force. I will suggest to just don't use too much force, just pry these two surfaces slowly. If you are not confident, then don't attempt a repair like this, because a lot of people have broken this in the process of removing it. At this point, I would like to use some soft material that I can keep this controller on. So I have this little napkin that is going to prevent any scratches, and from here on I'm going to proceed with the battery removal. And we have access to this little battery tray. And now we can lift this entire plastic assembly away. And now I will be removing these small ribbon cables. These are very small and delicate. Be very careful. Removing them using the fingers can be really tricky. And just in case you are doing this for the very first time, take a picture of these wires before desoldering them. I am already well aware of which wire goes where, so I'm not going to bother by taking a picture. So all the ribbon cables are off, and now I will be just removing all 4 of these wires by desoldering them now. A really important tip at this point would be just make sure you don't touch the iron on these ribbon cables. A lot of people have made a mistake like this in the past. Don't make a mistake like this, it is going to be really foolish. So I have desoldered all 4 wires from this side. As you can see, it was a little difficult to show in front of the camera because my hands were in the way. But this is nothing special. If you have any experience in soldering, getting these wires removed is not all that difficult. Now all 8 wires are desoldered, and I'm going to just route them a little away so that it is a little easy to work. And now I will just lift this and once you get the PCB off, just get this speaker and place it exactly where it belongs so that we don't have to worry about it. And now we can just work on this little PCB. First, let's get these plastic analog caps off, and here we are finally to the business end of the repair. So I will be adding some fresh solder to all of these points so that when I will be using the hot air, it is a little easy to melt. I will not be using too much hot air, about 40-45 seconds on both of these separately is going to be sufficient to melt the entire thing. I will show you that later in the video, but first let's mount it to the helping hands and just get all of these points wet with some low melt solder. So the board is all set now. I have used some heat resistant Kapton tape so that I'm not heating any plastic components. And now I will be blasting some heat from the bottom part of this PCB and I will be lifting these sticks. This is a little invasive for someone who has not done this in the past. But yeah, it is not all that difficult for me. I have done this so many times, so I am pretty confident. All we need to do from here is to just heat up the bottom part of the PCB and I will be getting the sticks off. And I guess I forgot to mention, I will be heating it up at a temperature of 300 Celsius. So that is the bare minimum, I guess, that you need to heat the board to in order to melt the solder. And now I will be just using the iron and will be using this solder pump to suck all the remaining solder. This is a really important step. Cleaning the solder properly is very important. So I'm done removing most of the solder using the iron and the pump itself, but still there is a lot of solder remaining on the other side. But before I move ahead to the other side, I would like to use the solder wick. So this side of the PCB is now completely clean. And as you can see, the analog stick goes right through without any problems. I will be removing this plastic part, this blue plastic part first before just soldering in the sticks. And let's test this one too. And this one fits perfectly as well. So that is how you clean the solder from these holes. And now I will be using some hot air to just heat up this part and get all this out. All the solder has been cleaned properly, and you can see all these holes are completely solder free. All that is needed from here is to just solder these brand new Hall effect sticks. Now I will be just soldering these sticks. This is really very important. I have held the stick from my hand, from my left hand I mean, and I have just melted the solder on one of the joints so that it is as flat as possible to the PCB, and we have melted the joint over it. And it has solidified now. So the stick is now flat and parallel to the PCB. All that is needed from here is to just put solder on all of these joints. So this stick is done. Now I will move to the right one. So it is really important to get the stick flat and just solder one of the points just like this. And once the solder solidifies, you can move on to the other point. Again, I'm going to have some pressure, melt the solder, and we'll make sure that the stick is absolutely flat to the PCB. And the solder has solidified, and now the stick is absolutely flat to the PCB. I'm just going to put some solder on. And there we go. At this point, we are almost done. So the complicated part is over now. And I will just use some isopropyl alcohol and will just use a brush to clean it. This is just to clean the remaining flux residues and some solder that is remaining. And now all of the solder joints are nice and shiny. We'll start removing these Kapton tapes, and I will be just reassembling the controller. Now finally the controller is fully reassembled and now it is ready for calibration. So in order to calibrate this controller, all that is needed is to just go to this website dualshock-tools.github.io, and once we are on this website, we just need to press this calibrate stick center and it is going to calibrate the stick center. As you can see, the sticks are perfectly calibrated now. They are returning to the center properly, and now we just need to calibrate the stick range. So I will be just rotating the sticks like this in all the directions, and it is done. So sticks are now properly calibrated and the circularity is done too. I will just show you the circularity numbers here. As you can see, it is at 4%, which is not bad. It is not ideal, it should be around 8%, and that we can achieve by fine-tuning the sticks. I will be just saving the changes now, and I will reboot the controller, and then I will go with the fine-tuning of the sticks. So I went ahead with the fine-tune stick calibration, and these sticks are done properly. Now you can see the circularity numbers. They are just under 7, which is absolutely ideal, and these sticks reach all corners of the circle without any problems, and these sticks are properly configured, and this controller is ready to be shipped back to its customer. So from here on, I will just pack it up and will send it back to the customer. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. Until next time, stay subscribed, and I'm going to talk to you in the next one.